What's going on, guys? Today we're talking about this little thing. Well, not exactly this, it's something like that, and it's called credit score and everything you need to know about credit score. So with further ado, let's roll the intro. Credit score, credit score, credit score. Basically, whenever you want to get something from anybody in life, you're going to have a good credit score. A personal loan, a credit card, a mortgage loan, a business loan, any type of loan, any type of credit line, you're going to have to show that you have good credit so that lender knows that you're good at repaying your debt back. So yeah, like I already stated, credit score is the number that lenders will use to help them determine your ability to repay the debt back to them. So yeah, it's pretty important. So your credit score, or your FICO score is what we call it, is a range from 300 being the worst to 850 being the best. Now let's break it down into 5 factors that affect your credit score. So number 1, and what affects your credit score the most, 35% of your credit score exactly, is your payment history. Now, your payment history is basically just paying your bills on time. Anytime you have a late payment on a credit card, anytime you have a late payment on a loan, whatever it might be, it's gonna get penalized on your credit score. So the basic gist of number 1, payment history, is just pay your bills on time. And when you decide to take out one of these, a credit card, well, the only time you should take out one of these if you know for sure you can pay your bills on time. If you cannot pay your bills 100% on time, well, you're gonna get struck with a huge interest rate, and also you're gonna be penalized on your credit score. So there's no reason to take out a credit card unless you know for 100% for sure you can pay 100% of your bill every single month in full. Now, the second factor in this equation is your credit utilization. Now, this accounts for 30% of your credit score. Credit utilization is calculated by taking your total credit that you're using and dividing it by your total revolving credit. Now, this is simply looking at your total credit that you're using every single month. The basic principle of credit utilization is just don't overspend every single month, and a good credit utilization ratio is under 30%. So for example, say you have a $10,000 credit limit on your credit card every single month. So essentially, to keep it below 30% or at 30%, you would spend $3,000 of that $10,000 credit limit each month. Essentially, the credit bureaus like to see how well you're utilizing your credit, and if you know how to spend, you know how to manage your money. That's essentially what the gist is of credit utilization. So just keep in mind, try to keep that ratio around 30% and look at what your credit limit is and see what you're spending every single month right now. All right, so we got the 2 big dogs away. We got the 35% in your payment history, and credit utilization is 30%. So just those 2 alone make up 65% of your credit score. Now, number 3 is your credit mix, and now this makes up 10% of your credit score. You always hear everyone saying, diversify your portfolio and investments, don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's essentially what credit mix is, and the credit bureaus are looking at how well are you mixing your different credit lines. Are you only taking out a credit card? Are you taking out a personal loan? Right? So they want to see how well you can manage all these different types of credit. Now, it's important to know that there's 2 different types of credit. There's installment credit and there's revolving credit. Now, installment credit is going to have a fixed end date, and it's with monthly payments. So perfect example of this would be your mortgage, student loans, auto, or personal loans. Now, revolving credit is going to have no specific end date or set balance. So a perfect example of this is a credit card, because you do not have to pay off that balance every single month. So essentially what we're trying to get at here is, by showing that you can handle these different types of credit, installment and revolving credit, basically it can increase your credit score slightly. A little tip for you guys out there, say you're trying to get to that all coveted 800 credit score. Well, I'm assuming if you have a good credit score, you're already doing the first 2 factors well, right? You're paying your bills on time, your credit utilization ratio is really good. Well, if you really want to push your credit score just a little bit more to breach to that 800 credit score, well, then you need to take a look at your credit mix, which I just explained. So maybe you only have lines of credit, say through a credit card, right? Maybe you only use a credit card. Well, maybe look into opening, maybe you need a business loan or a personal loan. By opening a different form of credit and paying your bills on time, you're gonna push your credit score up just a little bit more. Factor number 4 is hard inquiry pulls and soft inquiry pulls. What this essentially means is when you apply for a mortgage, right, a mortgage lender is going to do a hard pull of your credit, right? And depending on your credit history, this could affect your credit score by either 5 or 10 points. Now, when you just go online and you look at your credit score, through Credit Karma or whatever it is, that's gonna be a soft inquiry poll, and this will never affect your credit score. So when you apply for a mortgage, a mortgage lender is gonna do a hard pull of your credit score. This is gonna affect your credit score a little bit, and keep in mind, this is gonna stay on your credit file for 2 years. And also on top of that, for people that are trying to open all these different lines of credit, when you go apply for a home, this could be very suspicious because, a mortgage lender is gonna be like, why are they trying to open up all these different lines of credit, right? So what type of projects are they trying to do or whatever, and how is that gonna influence their ability to repay the debt back to the lender? Just keep that in mind. You wanna limit the amount of hard pulls that you do, right? So you don't hurt your credit score. And also on top of that, just so it doesn't seem suspicious when you actually wanna apply for another line of credit. And the last factor that's gonna affect your credit score is negative information. So essentially this is gonna be any late, missed payments, foreclosures, anything that's negative that you can think of, and just use common sense. Well, it's gonna hurt your credit score, and normally this is on your credit file for at least 7 years. Yes, at least 7 years. So essentially, just try to avoid negative information at all costs. So if you guys learned anything from this video, I think the biggest takeaway is just pay your bills on time, right? Don't buy stuff that you can't afford, especially if you have a credit card. For the young audience out there watching my videos, just know when you take out a credit card, you gotta pay that bill off at the end of the month. And if you can't, well then just get a debit card, get a secured credit card. Just don't take out a credit card if you cannot pay the bill at the end of the month, because you're gonna end up hurting your credit score. And that's the #1 factor affecting your credit score, 35% of your credit score to be exact. All right guys, so there you guys have it. Hopefully you got some type of value out of the video. And if you did get any value out of the video, hit that like and subscribe button and comment on the video. I'd love to hear what you guys are gonna utilize for your own personal situation with your own credit score. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next video, and you know how it goes. Until next time.